De la right, my MVVs, welcome. Fayo, the cause that almost spied her in 3 days, palace conspiracy to drag the jewel, bring her into the palace by force, and also shame the great lion. That was all they wanted. That was all they wanted. Yes, they said these Arun Ira award that they threw Fayo. They said this is a very terrible demonic ailment that it first showed itself in Ife as a rumor, then as a face. The earliest whisper point to a small quarrel that should have stayed private, a stolen piece of cloth, a word thrown like a stone, and from that day a servant woke with marks no doctor could explain. People pointed fingers, family closed doors, the elders arranged to meet. That first case did what all first cases do in a town that remembers old power. It made everyone look inwards and ask who had a ledger of grievance they wanted, to be written in flesh. They say when this Arun entered Ife a long time ago, that it was a woman that went to a very demonic, woman those days, with another person's cloth, to go and ruin that person's life with this kind of affliction. And they never had it in Ife. It was then that this thing entered Ife. And from that time, anybody who hears of Arun, they are so afraid of this Arun. We do know that there's Arun Ikokun and there is this Arun Ira Awo. The gods can even use something like this to punish you. But what they say they do now, witches and wizards, they use it on people. If they want to wicked you, they want to show you the kind of wickedness that you have never seen in this world. That is what they will do to you. As in, the skin will be so dry. There will be scabies all over the skin. And as you're touching the skin, that's how the skin will be peeling, like, tilapia fish. How you can remove the skin, that is how the skin will be peeling. They said Fayo. This thing started last 2 weeks. Remember when we heard that when they they have been decorating the jewels villa in the palace, right? They have been decorating it and all of that. So they snapped the picture of her dressing room. That is the jewel's dressing room. And when they sent it, the jewel didn't like it that much. Like, there were certain things that they mishandled, okay? And where the jewel had seen this and they took a picture of it, according to what we heard, they said it was in Brazil, okay? That they took a picture of it and all of that. And in that apartment where they stayed in Brazil, that Fayo was also there. Fayo saw everything, they admired everything together. And she said that was what she wanted in her dresser. So when they snapped that picture and they sent the picture to the jewel didn't like it. And the jewel had a public speaking engagement in Accra, okay? And she needed to go. She couldn't come to the palace. So what she now did was, to send Fayo first to the palace, then Fayo would take will go and take another flight and meet her up in Accra. When Fayo got to the palace, Fayo was able to do some corrections and all of that. They helped with the drawings, and she was describing it the way they saw it, because the pictorial that they said they had, these people said they were not too clear about that pictorial. So a lot of people were thinking that it was during that meeting they had an opportunity to do what they did to Fayo. Yes. That was when they had the opportunity to do what they did. That is what everybody is thinking right now. Now, they went to that Accra and they came back. She was in the royal mansion, that is Fayo. Then one evening, she started running serious temperature. Fayo is this kind of person that when she is sick, you will know that she's sick from the inside. She does not run temperature on the outside. Yes, some people are like that. Some women, a lot of women are like that. When they are grown up, like when they were children, they used to run temperature on the outside. But when they are grown up, they don't run temperature outside. They only feel sick inside. And that happens to be the kind of person that Fayo is. But this day, she was running one kind of temperature and sweating inside the house. And they called the physician that is in the royal mansion. They came and they saw that the temperature was high. And they thought that it was stress because they had a lot of running around to do that day. And, they administered, analgesic and all of that. And they said the next day they would run a test to ascertain what the problem was and all of that. Before Fayo will wake up the morning, they say when Fayo, the stylist to the jewel broke out in scales. Nobody could look away. In 3 days, her hands, her arms, her neck were covered in the, telltale, armor that everyone now recognizes as Arun Ira Awu. It started as tiny flaking like a rash. It turned into plates across her skin, hard and shining in a salon light. Like, the whole thing just turned to a very serious drama. The body was itching her. As she's itching, that's how the thing was spreading. Spreading as in, they say between morning and night, the thing had covered her neck. You know how when evil people, they want to do something, they can be so stupid. They will do it in a way that even you will know that this one has something. Now it. They said, now immediately, a message, you see this narrative that they have been trying to propagate in the palace. That, this Aronikoko, they have seen it that it was going to affect the jewel's person, somebody that is close to the jewel, and then the jewel will see a need to return to the palace. They've already started propagating it. Then, the narrative they were trying to propagate was that lady, the stylist, had been part of those trying to hurt the jewel. Yes. Because immediately, some people now started saying it was Aruni Koko. Thank God it has entered her house. Let them see how she will not come out. Let them see how she will not do what needed to be done and all of that. But the jewel had seen something before this thing happened. She had a dream. Yes, she knew something was wrong. There's nothing as good as trusting somebody and knowing that that person will not let you down. The jewel knew something was wrong. The jewel knew something was happening. The jewel knew something was wrong. The jewel knew that this attack was meant for her. This attack was her attack. That the jewel just knew that they were trying to use this to tell her, to make a statement to her. The whole neck, the whole body, everywhere. The thing had even started entering the girl's face, her eyes, everywhere. In 3 days, hey, God, oh, Jesus, wickedness. That was when the jewel knew that she was in trouble. She needed to stand up. Going to bring you more updates. Do not forget that these are all alleged, rumored, unverified information making the rounds on social media and shouldn't be seen as far.